Yes, guys, we are back. Big up to everyone. Thank you for joining us yet again. Guys, we're going to be chatting about Liverpool's Premier League title challenge. We're going to be talking about Arsenal and Man City as well, because we have got a title race between these three clubs this season. You know, we're touching Spurs and Villa and, Man United and Chelsea, and all that lot as well. But we're going to talk a lot about Liverpool today, guys. Have a great chat. Nice and calm, no stress on this one, guys. No anger. It's just going to be nice and civilized for as long as it can be, anyway. And for that civilized chat, obviously, I need my man here. Hey, Mac, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Hope everyone's well.
Yeah, big up the chat as well.
Time to be
Big up
alive.
everyone, yeah? It is a good time to be alive. I just watched EastEnders. I'm ready to rock and roll. You know what I mean? It's just I'm ready to go. Ready to talk about Liverpool Football Club. But big up to everyone in chat before we start. I hope you're all doing well. Edward, Daz, Redbird, Jay Kinsmith, I hope you're doing good. Living the Dream, Lucky, Booger Boy, Sophia, big up to everyone who's here already. I appreciate it. Big up Gary Richards in the chat as well. Guys, don't forget to go and smash that like button as soon as you're here. There's 38 people here already. Go and hit the fun button straight away. Let's leave likes, please. There's also a poll in the chat. Go and vote on the poll as well. It's basically all it is who will win the Premier League, Liverpool, City, or Arsenal. And as we're going along today, we'll talk about that as well and get your things in the chat. Be up honesty in the chat as well. We're going to talk about that honesty. I'll save that, mate. Honestly, I've seen it and I'm going to star it and save it to talk about it later. All right. But I have seen it, honestly. So we'll chat about that in a bit, man. Big up to you. Top of the league, life is good. That's where we'll start. K-Mac, top of the league, and life is good. How you feeling? How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty confident because we haven't even played well yet. So, and this is normally the time when we get into form. Is the January, February, and then moving on, because this is where we have basically a run-in with Man City, where it's pound for pound, game for game. Whoever drops points normally loses the league. Like, it's that simple, and it's not really them much.
Yeah, 19 games. We're literally halfway through the season now.
Mm-hmm.
We are on 42 points, which, we're, I believe, is it 11 or 12 points better off than last season? I actually think at this time last season, I think we only got the 42 points after about 29 games last season. So this tells you the massive difference in our season so far. Yeah, so we sit top of the league at the moment. 19 games played, so we're exactly halfway through the season. 12 games won out of them 19. 6 draws, 1 loss. Scored 39 goals. Conceded 16 with a goal difference of 23, which is the best in the league at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, Mac, if I told you we would be a couple of days away from 2024 after what happened last season, and we'd have 42 points and only lost 1 game all season, what would you have said?
I'd have said, what are you smoking at the Emirates?
What are you smoking at the Emirates? It's a mad,
complete midfield rebuild. Like, no, I wouldn't have seen that at all.
The whole change around in one summer is madness. I still don't think Liverpool get the credit for what they've done this summer. I don't know many teams. Do you know many teams that can rechange a whole midfield in one summer and be this competitive?
No, I don't. I can't even think of a team in history that's done it, that's had a complete rebuild. I mean, obviously, like maybe like back in like the 40s or something like that. Some crazy times back then, but not when you're literally going up against a team that's just won the treble. Like, you know what I mean? It's It's hard to fathom it. Like, it's hard to fathom the fact that we've gone behind in games 14 times, like, as well. It's not. It's not like it's been easy. It's not like we've just steamrolled it. We've literally dug every single game out, like, to some extent, and we've also been competing against the PG, whatever those losers are.
PGMOL, yeah.
I mean,
they're, as Honesty says,
anymore.
As Honesty says, yeah, they I think Honesty said it, yeah. The PGMOL are the title favourites.
I'll tell you what, guys, if you don't think there's corruption in the game, watch that Everton penalty. Come on.
Yeah, it was.
The ref didn't give it. And then the Man City team just surrounded him.
They got
he
bullied, it, man. He got
bullied into a penalty.
It was like some schoolyard stuff, weren't it, from back in the day?
Bonus payers.
There were just moments away going, fight, and the dinner lady coming to split it up.
I wouldn't be surprised if one of them ran over to him and went, "You know who's paying your wages?"
Yeah.
And he's just gone,
paying your wages. Done that. Just done.
Do you want those United Emirates games on the side? Do you, ref? And he's like, okay, yeah, penalty.
Then first class tickets on UAE Airlines, yeah.
Exactly, mate. Shocking.
It was mad because, as you said, the ref didn't think it was a penalty till the City fans surrounded him, because he actually
till the City players did.
Yeah, he said play on. He didn't think it was anything. He said play on, and then the City fans just got in his face, and you can tell because when the City player, I think it was Bernardo Silva. He got right in his face, and he's going like that. The ref's going like that to him, like that. He's nodding along with him, and then he goes, "Pen." It's just
Bernardo Silva suddenly become a hypnotist.
Yeah, yeah. Look in the eyes, not around the eyes, in the eyes.
Yeah,
yeah. It's just Look, PGMO, they're terrible, man. The Webb's come along and he's made it worse, and and then when they do that referee stuff,
that's the weird thing. And remember, he was always a Man United supporter. He's not even helping them.
No, he hates them now. He's gone off them now. He's gone off them. He's seen the money coming in. He's seen the money.
Hasn't he?
He's we have to say allegedly, but yeah,
allegedly.
He's seen that. He's seen the money coming in. His bank account grew one night. He's like, "What the hell happened there?"
Just don't show any clips, mate. Okay, I think we'll be all right as long as you don't show any videos or sound.
He got a very, very secret phone call in the middle of the night. I would. Check your bank account. And he's like, "Whoa, okay."
Yeah, when he looked at the bottom of his bed at Christmas time, it wasn't a red sack; it was blue.
Yeah.
It was a blue stocking full of gifts.
No, the PGA it's terrible, man. It's not run well at all. But look, Liverpool have started this season tremendously. One Premier League loss in their last 30 Premier League games from last season. I think it was the last 10 games of last season, going into this 19 this season. Liverpool have, since we don't like it personally with Trent inverted, but it does seem to work, don't it, for results wise? I mean, I don't particularly like it because I think it makes us a little unbalanced. I don't think it's pretty on the eye. But if you tell Jurgen Klopp that, he'll just come back and go, "Look, we've only lost one game in the Premier League with Trent inverted in all that time, and we probably shouldn't have lost that game." So things like that came out. It might not be pretty on the eye, but if you're the manager, you ain't changing that at the moment, are you?
No, I mean, we're going on what was it, 30 games 30 games unbeaten. Like I'm not even classing the Tottenham game as a defeat, because come on, let's all be honest on that one. It was just robbed, and it was proven, and they admitted it. Like, I mean, it gets the best out of Trent. I don't think it gets the best out of other players. I also think it puts our right-sided centre back in a lot of stress, but I can't really complain. Like,
no,
if we win the league playing this way, we win the league.
Yeah.
Like, what more do you want? Like,
Pep Linder's got it spot on because it is Pep Linder's tactic.
I mean, I'll buy his book. I'll buy his second book if we win the league. Playing this way, all right.
Pep Linder's got it spot on, man.
Instead of intensity, inverted.
Talking about books.
Well, he's going to be leaving a club, mate. He's going to be leaving his club.
He could be free. Sheffield United think they got a chance. Can I just tell Sheffield United right now that this man is far too good for the city of Sheffield?
He's not going to Sheffield United.
Yeah, ain't happening. But yeah, I love Bobby Firmino. I don't know why it's not quite working over there, but forever love of Bobby, man, forever. No, look, Liverpool. So we know what the talk of the town is. We're coming up to January 1st, where the transfer window opens, K-Mac. And I think we do need bodies just to keep us going. Liverpool, in my opinion, will buy it in January. So there's reports going around. I don't know if you saw the reports today going around that, FSG and Klopp had meetings this week, and they're looking at targets in January if it's possible. They're also looking at the teams that have gone out of Europe now to buy players from. Now, and then there's reports also coming out that Bruno from Newcastle is Liverpool's main transfer target this January. Now, where they're having this meeting, Klopp and FSG have had this meeting about going in the January transfer market, and then the same quotes are saying they're looking at teams that have gone out of Europe to take advantage of. And then reports come out this afternoon basically saying that Liverpool are very, very interested in Bruno Guimaraes from Newcastle, or Gremlinish, I can't pronounce his name. Bruno from Newcastle. He's obviously got a £100 million release clause. I don't know if that's activated for this season or next season because he just signed that deal. I don't know if it's activated for this season. But with what Klopp wants as a DM, he wants that progressive DM, don't he? And I wouldn't class Bruno as an out-and-out DM, but I would class him as a defensive-minded player in what Jurgen Klopp wants in that number 6. Do you see this as maybe the player that we go for? Because if that release clause is available in January, there's no transfer bidding. You don't have to fight. You don't have to fight the club or anything. You can just put in that bid.
Well, it's not like we didn't bid 100 million for a player already. We did ask about him last season, by the way. He was on our list, and we were told no, he's going to renew his contract. But things aren't looking that rosy at Newcastle right now. And I would absolutely love him. Like, no disrespect to Endo. He's been absolutely fantastic. But Bruno in that position, my God, like, he is a serious player. I mean, single-handedly, he's dragged Newcastle through games. Like, you can see him, like, literally pulling the team, trying to get them into games. Like, he reminds me of Stevie G, where like the rest of the team were crap, and he could just get the team at another level. He does it with Newcastle. Like, he's been doing it with Newcastle this season. Newcastle have been woeful sometimes this season, and if it wasn't for Guimaraes just dragging him into games and through games, he's a real player. There's another player as well, which we're heavily linked with as well, and I would like him as well, and he would be a cheaper option, and that's Nicolas Barella.
So yeah,
he's another one that we're looking at.
Inter are apparently going bankrupt. Now, I don't know if this is true.
Yeah.
I don't know if the story's a bit conflated because last season or in the summer they were going through. We heard news that Inter were going through money issues and they sold a few players off. I don't know if that's balanced the books for this year. No idea. But I think Inter do have money issues. Now, Inter are a team that had an owner that spent money out of his own pocket. And now they're getting money issues. It's what I keep saying. You know, it doesn't matter if your owner spends money or the team spend money. It don't matter where it comes from. They're going for a few issues now. Barella, I think, would if Inter Milan are going through money issues and bankruptcy is a real thing. Barella is going to be one of the most wanted midfielders in world football, surely. And every top team would go try and go, and you'd feel like. But then, Man City would be my only worry because Barella at Man City would be horrible. That'd be horrible. That'd be horrible. Man United, you'd feel with Ineos taking over United now in the financial aspects of it, where they're going to be more in charge of transfers and that. They might want a big money signing, you know, or a signing that says, look, this is going to be quality. We're going to be bringing in this, and they could be after a Barella.
I think they'll raid. I think they'll raid Monaco, not Monaco. Nice. I think they'll raid Nice, and they'll probably get Thuram. Like, I could see that being a sign for them.
It's easier to do.
And also the other guy as well, the French guy as well. He's got like two really good French centre backs.
All he's got to do is sign his own check.
Saliba, isn't it?
Yeah, you want my player from my player. You know, right?
Yeah. So I think they'll probably raid Nice for some of their talents. It would make sense. The interesting thing what you just said about the Champions League is I was just looking at some of the teams. So these are the teams which have gone out completely, okay? Not the ones that have dropped into Europa. So you've got Manchester United, Seville, interesting that they're not dropping into Europa. That's an actual godsend for us, to be honest.
They left it open.
They're serial winners. So they're completely out. FC Union Berlin, RB Salzburg. We have looked at their DM as well. Derung, I think his name is. He's a French under 21. He's really highly rated as well. Celtic, no one from there. Newcastle, obviously. Crevenza Zidane. I know they've got some good Croatians, but we won't be looking there. And Antwerp. Antwerp have got a really good DM as well called Vermeulen, who's Belgian. He's like 19, I think. He's really good as well, but there's not a huge amount of players there that I would say we'd probably be looking at, if I'm honest. Like, is there anyone in Seville? Like that? I can't even think. Is Zamunda? Does Zamunda play for Seville? The Spanish international. They've got a couple of good Spanish players, I think, but there's not a huge amount of players there. So unless we're looking at Europa, which I doubt it, like because the teams that have dropped out there, I wouldn't even know who they are.
No.
Like even if I read the names out.
Yeah, well, the rumor is that we're looking
not
at
a huge
teams
amount.
that completely dropped out of Europe. That are looking to take advantage of it. That are good players. So we know what we do as what our transfer committee is like. They look at a lot of data.
Real Sociedad. Sorry.
They look at a lot of data.
He's really good.
Yeah, they look at a lot of data as our transfer committee. They take data very seriously, and they look for value as well, which I'm not bothered about. You know, some people hate the fact that apparently we buy cheap, which is a myth. But because we just paid extra money for Darwin Núñez, it takes that transfer to 74 million. They're looking for value in the market, and they look at the data, and they're looking at these teams that have gone out of Europe. And the thing is, they're looking like to take advantage of it, because a lot of these teams that have gone out of Europe need Europe to financially keep going, and this is where you can take advantage. Now, the Bruno stuff from Newcastle is interesting because I do believe Liverpool are looking. He is a player Liverpool are looking at. Now, if we go and get him or not, I don't know. But I do believe they're looking at him. Would it be this January? 100 million this January would probably be hard to do. In the summer, maybe. I saw Edward write that as well. Maybe in the summer, that's something they're looking at doing, getting Bruno in the summer. I mean, if his release clause is not activated till the summer, then it's probably easier to wait for the summer, because if you try and buy him in January, because it's the middle of the year, Newcastle will probably go ask more than 100 million. So you might as well wait till the summer to get him. So I don't know when that goes in effect. I know he signed that new contract this season, but that doesn't mean that release clause goes effect straight away. That might happen till the summer. So if that don't happen till the summer, and Liverpool go and look for him as their main midfield target in the summer, and can do that, that's beautiful.
I know that Klopp. I know that Klopp was looking at Bruno before he moved to Newcastle. I can't remember what club he went from. Was it Lille or Marseille or someone like that? I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think so.
Who he signed from? It might have been the Mets, actually.
He was looking at him for quite a while. That's what I'm saying. Liverpool looked to him for.
He was. He also looked at Sven Botman as well. Leon. Sorry, yeah. Big up the chat. On fire today. My head's a bit scrambled.
If you need your questions asked, just ask the chat. The chat are great.
I know.
Keep Liv says the release clause most probably only active if Newcastle fail to get Champions League. Maybe, and that looks like it's going to happen. So maybe the summer is the case for that. Now, I was on Judge Mo's channel earlier this afternoon and talking about Liverpool and with Northside and Nobbins and everyone, and we're talking about it came to the Liverpool chat and we're talking about Liverpool, and they still think Liverpool need a DM, and where people might get what I'm saying wrong all the time, I think Liverpool do need a DM. But what I'm trying to say is that for this season, I think our midfield is fine. But everyone's got to listen to what Jurgen wants. Jurgen wants a progressive DM. He said it a few weeks back. He's looking to evolve the team in a different way and not just have a number 6 that's the sole defender of our midfield. He expects the midfield of defenders one, forward and wingers to come back and your number 9 to drop into the midfield and defend from the front. He expects all that as a defensive unit. And if you look at the last few weeks, Liverpool have started to defend better as an all-round team. So he's looking for a progressive DM. If they're not available this January, don't buy one just for the sake of it, because of peer pressure from fans or anything like that, because it won't be the right one. And you just buy a naff. I look at the forwards, for me, is the area, and the left-sided centre-back. If they can get a forward in and a left-sided centre-back this January, K-Mac, I think that helps us a lot, because, you've got Tsimikas injured now probably till around March time, I would have thought, with a broken collarbone. Robbo comes back in January. Robbo, when he's fit and ready to go, will be our number 1 left back. Even don't matter how well Tsimikas has played, Robbo will go straight back in there anyway. But when Trent goes inverted, it doesn't suit Robbo to be that third centre back. So if you can get a left-sided centre back, like a certain bloke we spoke about yesterday, then when Trent inverts, you've got 3 proper centre backs at the back in their positions. So maybe they're looking at that, and the forward line. I've been saying for a while, Liverpool they're not finishing off their chances enough. We're not clinical enough up front. We're just not. And if Liverpool are a bit more clinical in the forward areas this season, I actually think we'd be 6 points clear right now. Really do. What do you reckon, K-Mac?
100% agree. I mean, we'd have got an extra 2 points at Luton if we'd been more clinical, because we had about 3 chances to score in the first half. That could have been done and dusted, and they wouldn't have come back from anything. The Brighton game, if we'd been more clinical, we'd have won that game, because we had the chance to go 3-1 up, and Gravenberch hit the post from an open goal. Look, and this isn't even putting into account the refereeing decisions this year. So you've got 2 games there where that could have been 4 points extra. It's crazy to look back at how many opportunities we've had to go even further ahead. It is honestly crazy. We dropped 4 points over Christmas. No one drops 4 points over Christmas when you're challenging and still stays ahead of the pack. That's incredible. That's just pure luck that we've managed to do that, and the other teams have lost or not not played well or whatever and drop points themselves. Dropping 2 points at home to Man United when we absolutely battered them, like 36 shots or something, and then Arsenal, had big chances in that game. It's really interesting. I personally think we need a forward and a left-sided centre-back, left-back, because I don't think Robbo's going to come back as soon as everyone thinks. I think Thiago's coming back pretty soon from what Klopp's talking about. Like, I think he's ready, but he doesn't want to put him in just yet. There's already pictures of him training and that. He's in full training. Robbo's not got any movements in that arm yet. Like, that's what Klopp said. Shimakasa's out. Matip's out. Salah's not going to be about for a couple of games, and you don't know what he's going to come back like after the AFCON. If you remember history, when he comes back from the AFCON, he's really bad. Like, it is known for him to have a good 6 games where he needs to get back into it. That has happened before, twice. Just saying. Like, obviously, I hope it doesn't happen again. And then you've obviously got Endo, who's going to be probably out for the whole of the Asian Cup, because Japan will probably win it. They've been beaten like Germany and France and teams like that recently. So, Japan have got a really good team. So there's a good chance they'll probably just cakewalk that. I think we'll be okay in midfield. We've got enough there. And if we have to, we play Trent, like in games further forward. I think he'll probably give more opportunities to Connor Bradley, which is fine. And he's also got what's her name? He's got Kwanzaa that he can use as well if he needs be. I think we'll be okay, but I would like a forward. I would like one extra body in there. Someone who can maybe come in on the right, maybe just push some of the forwards, just keep them on their toes a bit, maybe bring them in slowly, give them some games. I don't think we can rely on Diaz for much this season. I just don't, unfortunately. His head's just not where it needs to be. And he's getting worse, if I'm honest. I think Gomez is perfect. Like, he's fine there. But I just think maybe we could do with some backup there. And that's why I think, Anthony Robinson, Hinapache, El Noure, all these type of guys that we're looking at in Ashio, they're all really good players that could go in nicely there. And, Gomez can then go back into support in that area and also playing more on the right in the second half of games, because he's been game changer. Like, sorry, I went on a bit there, mate.
No,
Gang and Deep, cheer up, man.
I agree.
Cheer up, Gang and Deep. Come on.
Gang and Deep's all right. I like Gang and Deep. Big up Gang and Deep.
Did you not get your Christmas presents or something?
They were going a ridiculous win streak because it's business end of the season. Arsenal finished second only because I think they will get knocked out of Europe earlier than we will, and Liverpool finish third. But I can understand what Gang and Deep's saying there. Also, Gang and Deep's probably saying as well that maybe the point difference between first and third won't actually be that much. There might only be like 6 points between first and third. It might be that tight as well. So I think Gang and Deep, he's got a point. He's also got a point that we have drawn 6 games already this season as well, which is a lot out of 19 games. Sometimes a loss is better than a draw, in a way. If you draw 2 games in a row, it has
been for Man City, mate, over the years.
If you lose one and win one, it's 3 points.
Man City have lost a lot more games than us over the years.
3 games in a row.
I know.
Yeah, and if you draw 2, say you got 3 games, you draw 2 and win 1, that's 5 points. That's 5 points. But say you lose one and win 2, that's 6 points, ain't it? So sometimes
crazy.
The odd defeat is not the end of the world, and that's the thing with Liverpool, because we are hard to beat. This is where I keep saying about the forwards area. because we are hard to beat. We don't lay down. We're hard to get beaten and get out of there. Look at teams that have gone in front this season. They can't get rid of us. We come back. But the problem is because of our forward line don't always finish off their chances. We either let 1-0 lead slip and it becomes 1-1, or we get back into games and make it 1-1. But then our forward line can't quite take their chances like they should. You know, Mo obviously will score his goals. Darwin, as much as we love him and rate him, he's missing 2-yard tap-ins at times, which is criminal. Luis Diaz isn't the Luis Diaz he was when he first signed, and that might be to do with his knee. But he just ain't that player at the moment. And the saving grace in all this is probably Diogo Jota. Diogo Jota, I think Josh said it earlier. Big up Josh in the chat. He said it earlier. If Jota was available for the Arsenal Man United game, we might have won both of them. And I agree, because Jota for me is a difference maker. You just saw his appearance against Burnley the other day. He had 9 touches and scored. It's just he's clinical as well. The angle he scored from was ridiculous. He's a clinical finisher. I've said it many times. If I've got all my strikers on the pitch and I've got a 1-on-1 with 2 minutes to go, I want Jota on that 1-on-1. I think because he's more clinical, in my opinion. And then got Cody Gakpo, I think, is coming into a bit of form. But I'm going to talk about Gakpo in a minute. But Jota, K-Mac, is he just coming back at the right time? We're going to lose Mo for a few weeks, but has Jota just come back at the right time for us?
Yeah, it's perfect timing. Like they planned it. It's perfect timing. It's perfect timing. I don't want him to have a setback though, because Jota's a player which gets re-injured if he comes back too soon. It's happened a couple of times, so I just want to make sure that he's tippity top. Yeah, I mean, I did mention a couple of left backs there, and obviously one of them is quite attacking, in Robinson. But I was just mentioning some names, that's all. But I do think we need a left-sided left back centre back.
Robinson's a good player.
Yeah, he is a good player. I've liked him for a number of years.
You can't
he
tell
only
me
cost them 2 million.
I know he's like, is he 27 now? I think he's 27.
He's 26, going on 27 this year.
22-year-old. Yeah. And you don't always need 22-year-old kids, do you? He's Premier League proven. He's a good footballer at a good age. Get him in, competing with Robbo. That's two, because I think Tsimikas might leave in the summer. So the two Robbos at left back. That's good. That's good competition at the left back area. He's a decent player. I think we look down on players sometimes if they play for clubs like Fulham and that. I think we look down on players. Robinson was doing this in Spain for a Spanish team. No one will moan. I do think we look down on a lot of players at times, but I think he'd be a decent bit of business, a decent signing.
I agree. And everyone talks about the age. We signed Kostas Tsimikas when he was 25 on it.
Yeah,
we signed him when he was 25. And he didn't play. He played like 20 games for us or something daft like that since we signed him. So, yeah, he'll get some games if we sign him, and he won't cost a ridiculous amount of money. But yeah, I mean, there's other players. There's other players like Hinapache, like he's perfect, but Xabi Alonso ain't going to strengthen our team for the Europa League. He just isn't. He's not going to sell his guy like to us when we're the main challengers in the Europa League. And I think he's losing
players
like 3 of his
players like that summer.
Yeah, I would personally. I'm throwing a name out there that I'd like for a while. I would personally go and get Estupiñán. He costs like 20 million.
He's quality, man.
I think he's got a release clause as well. Yeah, I would personally just go and get him. Like, he's the guy which is keeping Hinapashe out of the Ecuador team because he plays in his position as well. But I'll just go and get him. And Brighton sell players. Like, they just sell players. Like, you know what I mean? They've got so many kids that they keep on playing.
Business.
Yeah, just go and sign him.
Yeah, he's a very good left back. He's one of the best around, in my opinion. Extremely talented player. And if he's as cheap as that, makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
It's not just that. It's the way he plays football. And if you sign him on the left, who've you got on the left-hand side of midfield? You've got McAllister, who he's got a great relationship with already. The interchange between them two would just be seamless because they played together for like two years, maybe longer. How long has he been at Brighton for? Is it 2 years? 3 years? 2 years, I think.
2 seasons, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the first injury he's had. Like, at all of his clubs, by the way. Sorry, yeah, go on.
No, he's a very, very good footballer. There's no doubt about it.
Very good.
Someone I would. I'd love to get in.
He's the reason why Brighton absolutely mullered Tottenham, right? Because they had him back. He really is that good. There you go.
Yeah, definitely. So some good news on the injury front. McAllister's back in training. Alexis McAllister is back in training, which is great news for us because obviously we're about to lose Endo. Endo's last game be on Monday, obviously. So we're about to lose Furtado. McAllister coming back in, man. Massive positive, yeah.
Yeah. Will he not play? Can he not play against Arsenal in the cup?
I'm not sure.
Will we have Salah and Endo for those 2 games?
I believe they're leaving after the Newcastle game. I can't remember. I don't think he would play against Arsenal, Salah in a way. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. The Arsenal game's going to be interesting on the 7th because I think Liverpool need to play a strong team against Arsenal. I don't think you can get away with playing your kids because I don't think Arsenal are going to play their kids either. It's going to be a mouthwater FA Cup game. So
they'll want a cup. They'll want a cup, Arsenal.
Yeah, so Liverpool have to play strong. Don't want to get annihilated.
Okay, so
yeah, I think it is their last. And saying it's their last game in Newcastle.
I thought Salah went on the. I thought Salah went on the 9th.
I'm not sure.
Okay, FA Cup.
I think Salah will be back earlier than Endo will be, though. The Arsenal game's at the Emirates, James. It's at the Emirates.
Yeah, it's a 4:30 kickoff on a Sunday, the 7th.
It's on BBC, ain't it?
That's a shame. It's if Salah's if Salah's not gone, I'm sure he'll want to play that.
No, I think I read somewhere that they're both leaving after the Newcastle. I think Klopp said it today. Newcastle's their last game. So, I mean, look, Liverpool. We'll get to that because I'm getting Frank Carlisle on the show for the Arsenal chat. So yeah, we'll get him on for that. But yeah, McAllister back in training, which is amazing. First team training, he's back and running now. And then Klopp spoke about the forgotten man. The forgotten man is back in training. He was training Christmas Day. So Thiago is desperate to get back. Could a fit Thiago be our secret weapon for the running?
Oh hell yeah! Like, I mean, even if you just want to play him in the rest of the cups, like, he's a game changer. Like, especially if he's fit. Like, I mean, like, as in proper fit and no more injuries. It'd be interesting to see him fit in that position. It's where you play him though. I mean, would you play him as like the DM position, or would you play him on the left? But on the left, that's where Curtis Jones would really play, like, pretty much most of the games, and McAllister if he's back. Like they're ideally the positions for those two. But if you want to put them, I mean, bloody hell, McAllister, Thiago, and Sapulsai, friggin' hell.
We're Trent inverting alongside Thiago.
No, you don't need Trent. You don't need Trent inverted there. I don't want him getting in the way of them. Wow.
That would be hang on, Ant's just DM'd me something. Big up, Ant. Tyrone Endo and Mo Salah will link up with their nations after our Premier League clash with Newcastle. That's from Liverpool's official Twitter account.
Okay.
Big up, Ant. Thank you very much, man. There we go. So yeah, Newcastle's their last game.
Unlucky Newcastle.
Would you play Salah against Newcastle?
Yeah.
Because would he?
I'll play Salah against Newcastle and hope he gets a niggle. And then he doesn't go.
He doesn't go. Could you imagine?
The internet would crash.
Yeah. But with Thiago, though, like going back to Thiago thing, I think Thiago could be our secret weapon in that midfield area in a way. Because he hasn't played. I mean, we've got to be careful with him, obviously. He ain't going to go just straight back in the team. Like, he had 30 minutes in April, but apart from that, he's been injured since last February. Now, what I've been hearing is this surgery on his hip was a massive success. And most of his injuries he's had since he's been at Liverpool has been because of his hip. It's all related. So Liverpool are hoping now they've rehabbed him long enough. Because apparently they could have pushed him to be back much earlier, but Liverpool have just been rehabbing him. So it's been a real long, slow rehab because obviously they think a lot of Thiago. So yeah, I mean, Thiago coming back into this midfield, in February time, like February going into March, you bring Thiago back into this midfield. You've got a solid team there. A solid midfielder that can come in and do bits. But yeah, it's all about if he stays fit. But if it was the hip issue, because he never had surgery on it, because Liverpool and Thiago decided to keep surgery away, and then eventually they needed surgery. So if the surgery is a success, they've rehabbed him properly, have taken his time with him properly, around February or March time, Thiago could be a massive factor in what we do in the Premier League and in the cups as well. It's like I saw Gangendeep's chat about Liverpool finishing third and winning 2 cups. Look, I'll probably be reasonably happy with that. I won't lie, because I still think we're a work in progress. I still think Liverpool are very much ahead of schedule. I don't think Klopp thought we'd be where we are now. I think it's taken him by surprise a little bit. But also at the same time, I think it's because the league isn't that good as well. I don't think Arsenal is as good as everyone makes out. I still think City are gettable. I still think you can have a go at City and hurt City. But the problem with Manchester City, they go have Kevin De Bruyne back, they go have Haaland back. Once Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne are running again and on that same pitch again with the players they got, they can go on a run. There's no doubt about it. But there could be a slip anywhere. It's going to be a long season. We're halfway through. There's so much to go. And January, so talking to Nobbins earlier, who's a big City fan, he said that City have already said they're not buying anyone this January. They're not in the market this January, which is, if that's true, that's mad for me, because I think they're a midfielder short.
I don't think they've got money because of FFP, mate.
I think Arsenal are struggling for
million.
FFP as well. So
they spent a lot, and they didn't make much back because they lost a load of players on free transfers. Like a lot of their players just left. Like they got a bit of money back for Cole Palmer, but I think they needed to do that for them to sign Guardiola. Like I think they needed to sell him to sign Guardiola. I'll just rattle off some of the games though coming up for the running teams basically.
Yeah.
So you've got City, you've got Sheffield United, That's at home, so that's a dead rubber, really. That's the next game, so that's on the 30th. 31st is Fulham at home to Arsenal. That will be a tough game. Fulham drew at the Emirates, and Fulham have been spanked twice, so they might have a bit of revenge there, hopefully, because Arsenal can't hit the back of a barn door at the moment.
Yeah, that's a potential slip.
It could
Arsenal away to
be. They
Fulham.
don't score. They don't score enough goals.
Do you know Saka's
They had
got the
55 touches. Sorry, just this stat. They had 55 touches inside the inside the box against West Ham. It's the most in any Premier League game, and didn't score. Didn't score and lost.
For me, Arsenal going through a bit what Liverpool going through at the moment.
Crazy.
Their forwards are not scoring goals, but our difference is that we got Mo Salah. You know, Saka has got the same GA as Darwin Núñez this season. You know, Martinelli just gets his head down and runs. He's just like that. You know, and Gabriel
Martinelli, Diaz has got better stats than Martinelli.
Yeah, and we're upset with Diaz.
I know. Crazy.
And Gabriel Jesus is just a poor man's Bobby Firmino.
Oh,
I don't care what anyone says.
I mean, he missed 2 absolute sitters. Just head it. Just head the ball straight, like on goal. Like you're right in front of the net.
If I'm Arsenal, I buy a striker. I buy a striker and I play Gabriel Jesus on the wing. He's not a number 9.
But that's where he got played for Man City, and he was decent. Yeah. Like, don't reinvent the wheel. Like
he's not. Gabriel Jesus is not Bobby Firmino. He's nowhere near as good as Bobby Firmino. And
you can't play him like that.
They're trying. That's what they're sort of trying to do, ain't it? And it's just like it's not working for them. Big up Newcastle Daily. Big up to you, man. Says we'll beat you at Anfield. Big up Newcastle Daily. A Newcastle Daily team is not. You know, they're in the mire at the moment. We will see, my friend. We will see. But
I think Anfield's a bit of a fortress. If I'm honest. So you got 1st of Jan. Obviously, we've got Newcastle at home. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff, by the way. So that's even harder for you, by the way, Newcastle Daily, because you got us under the lights, and that's not easy under the lights. Then you got City away to Newcastle on the 13th of Jan. My God, Newcastle haven't got it easy, have they? And then you've got Arsenal Palace. That's another tough game. Arsenal don't play well against Palace either. That's on the 20th of Jan. Then we're away to Bournemouth. Yeah, that should be easy enough. Bournemouth are all over the place. Arsenal away to Forest, 30th of Jan. 31st of Jan, we've got Chelsea at home, and that's the whole of January. So, you know, 2 decent home games against two of the better teams left. We haven't got many big teams to play at Anfield, really. So we've got Chelsea and Newcastle, which means we should have a lot of easier games for the rest of the season then, especially at home, which is interesting. Yeah, I think there could be a bit of a shuffle there, probably between Man City and Arsenal, if I'm honest. So I think Arsenal probably will drop out into 3rd by the end of Jan, and City will probably be back up there. I mean, I hope Newcastle get a bit of form, but I don't want them to really, because they've got us next, and then they've got City. So it's an interesting one. So I mean, by the end of Jan, Newcastle might need a new manager.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going on what, 9 games beaten. Like if they lose to us and Man City, it's not looking good.
No.
Perfect time to take Bruno Guimaraes off them.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Most definitely. this league is going to go down to the wire. I think Liverpool, Arsenal, City. It all depends who goes on the best run, probably now. And I say Liverpool have not lost much, but we draw a lot of games. I think the draws could be our letdown this season. Arsenal, I'm not sure about Arsenal. I'm just not. I'm not sure about them. And then Man City, I'd still make Man City favourites because look, let's be fair, they're the treble winners. You know, you can't.
If they win their game in hand, they're only
Yeah,
2 points behind us, mate. And we still
yeah.
got to play. We still
No
got
one
to play
took
them at their
advantage of them.
ground.
No,
Oh, sorry,
well,
they've still got to come to Anfield. Yeah, they've got to come to Anfield.
yeah, and
It's going to be a big
look, no
game.
one
That.
really took advantage of when City were dropping points either.
No.
No one really took any advantage of City dropping points. So,
Well, VAR did.
yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I think you got to keep City in there definitely, and it's got to be tight, man. It really is. But answers quiz question: when was the last time we lost at home in a full ground?
Oh, mate, I said that. I brought that one up to you a while ago. It's literally, I think it's Burnley, at home during the. Oh, sorry, it's not Burnley. It's Wolves. No, not Wolves. Watford. Sorry. It was Watford. That guy that we were linked with for years scored 2 goals.
I thought that was at their ground.
No, that was. Was it?
I think that was at their ground.
Oh, who did we
That was
lose
at
to?
Vicarage Road. I think it
No,
was
who did
Leeds.
we?
I think Leeds were the last
It
team
was
we beat.
Leeds. I think it was Leeds.
That was last
Sorry,
year.
yeah, it was Leeds. My bad. It was Leeds.
Leeds were the last team that beat us last year.
But it was. It's about 50 odd games. Like, I'm not kidding you. It's about 54 games or something at Anfield, like in front of fans since the last time we lost.
And Real Madrid as well.
It was
the league.
It was that what's the name? It was that Holland lad that scored. What's his name? I can't remember his name. The kid. Yeah, Somerville. That's it.
Somerville. Ain't that a shop?
Yeah.
That's not a supermarket.
He's a decent player. They're in the championship now, aren't they? Isn't Falk managing them?
What Leeds? Yeah.
He's doing all right.
The Norwich manager. Yeah. I need the Leeds manager in there.
I want that that midfielder they've got. Is it Archie Gray? He looks unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a decent player, man. Yeah, Leeds are doing well.
And Gonto as well. William Gonto. I take him.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got some good players, man. There's some good players around, man. There is some good players around. So obviously Salah is going to be leaving, and he could be gone for, I believe, is it 8 or 7 games or something like that? If they go all the way to the final, something crazy. I don't know if Egypt are in the same state as they were 2 years ago to go as far as they did. So it'd be interesting. I think Endo will be out longer than Mo, put it that way. I think Japan will probably go all the way in their tournament, but Mo's got a bit away, and a lot of people are a bit worried who's going to fill in for Mo. And I've had this take now that I think, I do think
7 games.
7 games. So that's it's a lot of games.
7 domestic games.
Because I ain't won the League Cup and won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Is it the League Cup on the 10th as well?
Yeah, that's a good point actually. That's just domestic.
We play the FA Cup on the 7th. The first leg against Fulham on the 10th, isn't it? And then
I'm just reading it.
So I look at it and think, is this a chance? You and me spoke about this yesterday, but is this a chance for Luis Diaz to relive his career and stick him on the right while Salah's away?
Yeah, it could be. It could be, but it could also be a really good chance for Harvey Elliott to stake a claim, because I think he deserves it, if I'm honest. anyone deserves to get a run of games, it's Harvey Elliott. Like Curtis Jones should get a run of games, but Harvey Elliott should definitely get a run of games for me. And moving him into that position's absolutely fine. Like he's got a great relationship with Trent, and his link play is just
fantastic.
sensational.
Harvey's had a great season so far. I just worry. I just think in that amount of time, say Salah's away for 5 games. I just don't see Harvey playing all 5. I see Luis Diaz just playing in our next Premier League game after. Who is our next Premier League game after Newcastle?
That's a good point. I should remember that because I just said it.
Can't chat. Everyone in the chat.
Bournemouth away.
Well, that ain't gonna be. That's not gonna be easy. Bournemouth away might be harder. Bournemouth away.
21st of Jan. I know we've got games in between it as well. We've got loads of random games coming up in Jan. I'm just gonna have a look now because we've got the FA Cup. Just looking at these games. So the FA Cup's on the 6th. Is it 7th?
Yeah,
no, the 8th. It's the 7th.
Yeah.
The 7th. You got the FA Cup, and then you got the League Cup is 24th of Jan. Oh, sorry, no, 10th of Jan.
Yeah.
And then the 24th of Jan. Why the hell is it like so far apart?
Yeah, because you've got FA Cup games in between, ain't you?
Yeah,
because
we're just,
you've got,
unfortunately, we're just fucking brilliant and we're in everything.
Yeah, because the FA Cup third round replay, because the FA Cup third round replay would be in between the 2 League Cup semi-finals, wouldn't it? That's why it's far apart.
I ain't complaining. We're awesome. I'd actually take a draw at the Emirates and then bring it back to Anfield and do them properly.
I mean that. I look at this we've got Salah's gonna be away. I personally think I look at it now and think Klopp might go Luis Diaz on the right, Darwin through the middle, and Jota off the left. That's how he might be looking at it to go forward while Mo's away, and then you can rotate if you need to. So Gakpo can come in for Jota or Darwin, and you can rotate them areas. Harvey can come in for Luis Diaz maybe, and you can rotate them areas. I think I think Klopp would see it as we can cope. We can cope for these games. Obviously, we'd love Mo there, but I look at it. I can play Luis Diaz and Harvey probably on the right. Then I've got Gakpo, Jota, and Darwin that I can rotate, and I've got Dominic Szoboszlai as well who can play left wing. So he's got players there where he can rotate and I think still play to a decent level. There's a lot of talk that people think Dominic Szoboszlai would be a better player with Mo Salah not in the team, K-Mac. What do you reckon?
Me included. Yeah, I just feel like that right hand side is just there's too much going on in there, and when you've got Trent, Salah, and Dom, because remember the past. Okay, so this is how you have to kind of look at it. It used to be Trent, Henderson, and Salah. Henderson doesn't do anything that Dom does. Okay, Dom scores, Dom assists, Dom does mazy runs. Dom can do so much more skillfully on the ball than Hendo. It worked with Hendo because Hendo didn't offer any of those things, so he wasn't looking to do those things. So he wasn't getting more involved in the game as much. And when he was getting the ball, it was sideways passing, and it was quick passing to a player that's probably 5 yards away from him, really. Dom is a different type of player, so you're taking away all of those things that Dom does because all he can do in that position is sideways and bomb up and down and cover for Trent. So you're not getting the best out of Dom, which means that if you want him to play there with Salah and Trent, You need to find another way of it working. But at the moment, it works the way it did with Hendo, and that's why Dom looks like a Hendo in some games with those players. Unfortunately, you take Salah out of the equation, Dom's then got a route to go and do things, and you'll have a player that will be on that side, which could be Elliott, it could be Diaz, it could be Gapco, by the way. He's played Gapco twice now, I think, in that position as he's brought him on, and he's looked all right. That may interchange better with Dom. I don't know. It's an interesting one to see how that works. Dom's also had really good games when Trent was injured, by the way, because Trent goes into Dom's position as well in midfield. So Dom's like, well, where do I go? Okay. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It's an interesting one. I've just been looking at the dates as well. Like, God, we've got so many games in January, by the way. Like,
yeah, go on.
Like literally, like the FA Cup games on the 7th. Then we've got the first leg of the League Cup on the 10th. You know what I mean? It's all stacked up quite heavy in the middle of January for us because of those two EFL games in between. We really don't want to replay for the FA Cup. Actually, they still do replays, don't they?
Yeah, this is the last season when replays.
Yeah,
this
okay.
is the last season they do it.
We don't want to replay. That would
no,
clog,
that's why
that
I'm
would
thinking
clog
he
it up
might
big
play
time.
strong. I think the FA Cup game we're going to have to go strong. You know, I don't think we've got a choice. You get because I think Arsenal will go strong as well because Arteta needs a trophy, in my opinion. So I think he's going to go strong. Liverpool ain't got a choice, man. We don't play Europe as well till March. This is one of the great the factors of finishing top of that group. If we didn't finish top of that group and we finished second, we'd have had to play a round of 32 game in the beginning of February. So we don't actually play in Europe again till March, which gives Liverpool a lot of breathing room. We could actually win the League Cup before we play in Europe again, I believe.
Yeah, I think we could. You know what's really annoying as well?
End of February.
You know what's really annoying as well? You know the way we've got that 2-week break in January? Well, we haven't.
In the middle of January.
Well, we haven't.
No, I know.
We haven't. We got Fulham.
Yeah, the way it's scheduled, we haven't got
absolute cockends. Like they always screw us over at every opportunity. Like honestly, like EFL, FA Cup, just always screw us. Do you remember that time when we had to play Aston Villa kids? So we had to play kids against Aston Villa because we were playing the Continental Cup that we won in another country at the same time, and they wouldn't move it.
The Super Cup, the World Cup Championship.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean.
Yeah, it was 24 hours with anybody apart. Else? They were like, why can't you play on both continents?
Did he do it with anybody else? Because I'm looking at the games and I'm like, Jesus.
They moved Man City's game.
That's just annoyed me now, big time, mate. Seeing that.
World Super Cup.
And that was Klopp as well, getting that extra. Yeah, go on.
It's just
sorry, mate. Go on.
The Club World Cup, man. It's just like in the Club World Cup for us. We had the League Cup game, and all Klopp asked is, can we do this next week when we come back? Yeah, so I want to take it seriously. But we are actually like, you know, was it in Saudi or something like that? I can't remember where it was, or in South America at the time.
South America.
And was like, we're doing the World Club Championship, so I've got to take my first team there. I've got my whole squad there. How am I meant to be in 2 continents in 24 hours? Yeah, and play back-to-back games? Because it was literally the League Cup that day, the next day the final of the first game of the World Club Championships, and we got told to get on with it. You got to play your kids then, and the kids gave it a go. Right, you got to play 16 and 15-year-olds against Villa's first team. Mental. Man City had their Premier game moved, so they could play in the World Cup Championship. And then we come back winning the World Club Championship. You'd think everyone would be proud of us. An English team went and won it, got the badge. No, you can't wear your badge on your shirt. As soon as Chelsea and Man City win it, 2 oil clubs, guess what? You're allowed that badge on your shirt.
You're allowed that badge. Yeah, I remember that, mate. Honestly, I mean, it's really hard to just take it, because we just honestly we Liverpool literally are just bent over and belt fed relentlessly. Like, the amount of times we've just took it from the man is just ridiculous. Like, it is what it is. Like, we've been incredibly successful under unbelievable odds and pressure over the years. It's insane. And it was no difference back in the olden days as well, by the way.
Is that true?
Like, we were absolutely screwed over in the olden days as well. Like we were kicked out of Europe for like 5 years, like, because a wall fell. Like, you can't like, a wall fell. Like, it was a tragedy, but a wall fell. Like, you know, that was honestly, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, high salt. You know, that stadium won't.
Yeah, that was
that stadium.
Yeah, that's interesting. The Kevin Nolan thing.
Like,
yeah.
So is that true? Is that according to Kevin Nolan, Bones' buyout clause is only 80
that's the
million
rumor
release clause only for
heard.
Liverpool?
Yeah, that's the rumor I've heard as well.
That's mad. That means West Ham acknowledged that Liverpool have been looking at Bowen then.
Yeah. Well,
if that's the case,
Klopp's been glowingly talking about it constantly.
Yeah, and Klopp highlighted him in the game. I forget all the other players. I love that Bowen. Yeah, he's special. It's like, all right, Jurgen, you couldn't make it more obvious. Jesus Christ. No, calm yourself. Bowen's a quality little player. Before I even started my YouTube channel, I used to go on Coppish and all the time, every Friday. And I always talk about Bowen. I was like, yeah, Bowen's a quality player. And people used to put me down. I was like, no, Bowen's decent, man. He's a good footballer.
Did
you
they
get him in?
Was he another Hull? Was he another Hull player? Was he another player signed from Hull?
Yep, he certainly was.
He was. Okay, so yeah, they produced some decent players. Robbo, Bowen.
Yeah, Hull. Yeah, Bowen's a good player, man. He's a very good footballer. But yeah, I'd like to see Diaz on the right while Salah's away. I'd like to see how that works. Diaz on the right, Jota on the left, Darwin through the middle. I think it might work better because we won't have 2 wingers cutting inside, because Luis Diaz will stay wide because of his right foot. So he won't cut in on his left. He will keep the width over there. Jota will be the only one cutting in. So that means we'll have naturally more width in them games than we usually do, because Salah and Diaz both cut in because they want to come on their stronger foot on opposite sides. So Diaz playing off the left, one's coming on his right, and Mo off the right, one's coming off his left. But Diaz is right-footed. He'll just stay out on the right. He won't cut in. He'll get to the byline. He'll get crosses in. It might actually benefit someone like Darwin, and then it actually, do you know what else might benefit? It actually might benefit Szoboszlai, because Szoboszlai can get into the areas of the pitch and then attacking midfield areas where he can't originally, because Salah takes up them spaces. We might see Szoboszlai doing bits while Salah's away if you play Diaz on the right. What do you reckon?
If it does push Diaz wider, then that is a big benefit for us, because we're too narrow. Like, we're really narrow this season. A lot of games that we've struggled in is basically because you could throw a blanket over the entire team and there's too much going on in the middle of the park. So yeah, any width is great. I think it'd be interesting. Like, I haven't really thought about that dynamic, like the fact that it is on his stronger foot, which means he can cross, which means he won't have to cut inside, which makes you think, why hasn't that been done sooner? when all season we know we need width, and none of the players have given us any width on the outside. So So yeah, you know, I mean, it's hard to not see Diaz as just being a starter, because he starts all the time, no matter if he's dogs or not. Like he'll probably just start again. He'll probably just play against Newcastle. Like he'll probably just play him on the left, mate, and Jota will probably end up getting stuck on the right. I don't want to see that, but you know what? He always He always reverts back to type, don't he? Like that's just his thing.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
Gravenberch will probably play. Gravenberch and Dom will probably play.
Yeah, I mean, he says here, James, we're going to keep the width on both wings, have Darwin be a box striker. Would it not make sense to have someone like Elliot on the left? Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, because Elliot's naturally left-footed.
He's tried him on the left.
Do you know what? It opens up more. Yeah, if you hold the width a little bit more, if you look at the midfielders we got, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai love to work in space around the edge of the box. You know, Gravenberch ball carrying skills becomes better if you've got natural width, and Szoboszlai is running and getting into them positions to shoot from 20, 25 yards out or create openings from them areas becomes more of an advantage to us if you keep the width. Because when everyone cuts inside from there to go on their stronger foot from wide areas, you're all meeting in the middle, you know, and everyone's got these small areas to work in the middle. Where if you keep the width, it could help Szoboszlai, you know, it could help Gravenberch, you know, it could help Darwin. It's interesting. This is why I'm not.
That's his best attribute as well, Gravenberch, ball carrying. Like he's really, really good at it.
Yeah, he's an excellent ball carrier. Yeah, excellent at it. This is why I'm not too worried about Mo and Endo leaving, you know, for a few games coming up, because I believe in the squad. No, I might be just naive and stupid, but I believe in our squad, and I believe they can work out quite well. Everyone freaked out last time, 2 years ago when Salah went away. Everyone freaked out what we're going to do. Oxlade-Chamberlain played, and I believe he scored in every game. You know,
Fabinho,
on the right wing.
Fabinho scored a few as well.
Yeah, and we just kept going, and we look. You know, I'm actually all right with it. I believe in our squad. I might be daft, but at this moment in time, I believe in our squad, and I think if you put Luis Diaz on the right and you play Darwin through the middle and a Jota on the left, who's the only one cutting in, because I've got to have Jota on my pitch, man. Jota's a goal scorer. He just is. No matter what, we all think of Jota. Last season, I was wondering if we should let Jota go because he went for so long without scoring. But when Jota's in the mood, you look at all our forwards. Salah and Jota are our goal scorers on a more regular basis. And I've got to have Jota in the team. If there's no Mo Salah for the next few games, Jota has to play. If you don't play Jota, then we are a bit like, where's the goals going to come from? Jota has to play every game while Salah's away from me. He just has to. Because he's got to get the goals.
Shows,
I think Gakpo can get goals.
Yeah. It will really show our title credentials to put the onus back onto the forwards, because let's be honest, all season they've really not fired. Like, and they know they haven't. So it's time for them to step up, because you can't rely on one player all the time. And to be honest, most of the season we've relied on like 4 players, if I'm honest, like all season. And that's been Ali, Trent, Salah, and I mean, to a certain extent, probably Gomez at the moment. But I just think it is time to put that back on the strikers, and who knows? You know, we might have that Nunes that we've been crying out for. You know, he might start popping them in. You know, maybe having Salah not on the pitch might be better for him, because he may feel a little bit like the fact that he always has to try and find Salah, or maybe Salah's not, you know, maybe I don't know. I'm saying maybe a lot, but it could help. It could help the other strikers not having Salah there, because Salah is such a big player.
He's
that
the
he
focal
could,
point.
yeah, he could basically be making them make a different decision because he's there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's interesting. It'd be good to see. I think we could really try some new things with players in different positions, especially the forward line, against the likes of Fulham and Arsenal.
Yeah, definitely. That's why this is why I think Darwin might step up. Darwin might feel like, right, I've got to be the goal scorer now. This is why I feel confident. I would feel more worried if it was Alisson and Virgil leaving for a few games. I would actually feel more concerned and worried if we were losing Alisson for 7 games and Virgil for 7 games at the same time, because then I'll be looking at my squad going, hang on, I don't care who you've got. There's no better keeper in world football than Alisson. So anyone you're bringing in is a downgrade. And Virgil van Dijk is arguably one of the best centre-backs in the world at the moment. So you lose them two out of your team for 7 games, I would worry. But we're losing Salah and Endo, and I feel with the forwards we got, Klopp can mess around with it a little bit. He can put Diaz on the right for me. There's no issue there. It can work. Szoboszlai can get in more attacking areas. It could actually be a bit more fluent. Because the one thing I've been saying about Mo all season is that his goal scoring is amazing. His creativity in his goal scoring is amazing. I can never knock it for him. But his build-up play at times, you can scream at the TV. You know, when we build up nicely, and
it's as bad as Diaz's.
Yeah, and he comes to Mo, and Mo tries to take on 4 people, and he's like, Mo, what are you doing? Just give the ball back to someone. Stop taking on 4 people, and he loses the ball, and then we got to go again. You can scream at your telly, but then he'll score one with the outside.
Don't take the shot. Don't take the shot. Just square it. There's a guy there. Square it. Oh, you took the shot. Okay.
Yeah. And that's how. So it's all on Klopp how he sets this up. If he sets this up correctly, in my opinion, and gets Diaz on the right, with, you know, maybe interchanging with Harvey at times, because Harvey does like to play there, and then you got Jota and as your main goal scorer. Darwin comes alive a little bit. You got Diaz there. You got Gakpo there. I think you've got enough to be absolutely fine. As I say, it's just got to set it up right. So there's 2 things I want to talk about quickly. So apparently Tottenham Hotspur are interested in Joe Gomez. Now, 2 years ago, or even last year, in fact, last year, I would have packed his bags for him and sent him to White Hart Lane. This year, I'm like, nah. You want my boy? You're gonna have to pay top dollar for Joe Gomez. I want 60 to 70 million. I'm looking at defenders, in my opinion, are nowhere near as good as Joe Gomez, going for like 40 mil. Joe Gomez, for me, is our second best defender this season. He ain't going nowhere. This needs to be. I don't even think Klopp would even think about it. Do you, K-Mac?
So Tottenham bought Van der Ven. He cost them 47 million in the end, wasn't it? Was it 47 million? He actually cost them quite a lot in the end, by the way. Like, we were all talking about him getting in for like 30 million. He ended up costing them about 47 million, I think. Oh, 60. Someone's wrote 60 million. Is that?
Yeah, I'm just reading. Yeah, I'm just. So I've got my other screen here. So anyone's wondering why I'm turning my head, I've got my other screen here, my other monitor, and it says here Gomez. Tottenham are interested in Joe Gomez, and the reports are saying a fee around 60 mil, but no confirmation yet. There's no way Tottenham are going to spend 60 mil on Gomez.
I think they would.
You reckon?
I think they would, mate. They are decimated. They're decimated. Like they're bringing on like 18-year-old kids, like in that game against Brighton. Like, they had just kids on the bench. They're absolutely decimated. Tottenham, and they're losing 3 players to AFCON as well, and Asia.
Tottenham are the ones in trouble.
Man, they are.
Son's going. Isn't Basuma going to?
Yeah, Basuma
as well, and Sarr.
So that's their midfield.
So they're going to lose Son, Basuma, and Sarr, definitely. So that's Tottenham effed. But yeah, no,
I don't think so. Like, he's just signed a new contract, and I think he knows what his role is now. Like, and I think he's fine with it. Like,
Yeah.
sell him that Phillips. Someone wrote, sell him that Phillips. Sell him that Phillips, 20 million. He's better than Dyer.
Gomez's little girl's got a Scouse accent. Have you heard that? No, Joe Gomez is settled, man. He loves the City. I just don't see Gomez going anywhere. And how many defenders can you name in the league this season that can play right back, centre back, and left back and look pretty good?
He's incredible, mate. Incredible.
Why would you let a versatile defender like that leave your football club? When Gomez is injury free, I've always said this about Joe Gomez. When Gomez is injury free and he's got his confidence, because I do think Gomez is a massive confidence player. When he's playing and he's got that confidence high, I think he's a very, very good defender. Very good. And he's so versatile. I can play Joe Gomez right back tomorrow and I wouldn't worry. In fact, Joe Gomez is actually good getting forward these days and he will score. It's happening this season.
He will score this year.
It will happen. Yeah, I like Gomez, man. I ain't selling a versatile defender like that.
He's only 26. He's only 26. Like, exactly. He's been around for forever.
I ain't letting him. Who are you going to get to replace Gomez?
He's so settled. And the thing about it as well, he knows how to play under Klopp. Like, he knows how to play under Klopp. He's been playing for Klopp for years. So that's why he is so integral and quick. Can just fit into the team anywhere. Like, he's perfect.
And he's still pacey, man.
Yeah, he's still got it. And he's not on stupid wages either.
No.
Like, he's just a solid player. Like, gives you a 7 out of 10 this season.
Yeah,
easy.
He's like
one of our best players this year.
He's like Nathan Ake. These defenders that can play versatile positions.
Yeah, he is like Nathan Ake.
He won't let go of Nathan Ake. He might not be the most fashionable defender about, but he can play full-back and centre-back. City ain't going to let that sort of player go. And Liverpool will be mad to do the same with Gomez. He can play right-back at a level. He can play centre-back. He can play he's playing left-back at the moment. Yeah, and he's right-footed. It's not natural to him. But I'd rather him than Zinchenko at left-back.
I think Kenny signed Gomez.
Brendan Rodgers did, didn't he?
Are you sure it wasn't Kenny?
I think, no, Brendan Rodgers did, because Brendan Rodgers played him left-back, didn't he?
Oh, okay.
I think we bought him for like $2.5 million from Charlton, wasn't it?
Yeah, someone just wrote 3.5 million from Charlton.
3.5 million from Charlton. Great business. Right.
We signed Raheem Sterling for 500 grand, by the way.
Yeah.
Sold him for 50 million.
Yeah, he signed in 2015.
Crazy.
He's almost been here 10 years. That's mad. Everyone want to have a laugh? So, is it Le Quick or what? That French newspaper? I can't pronounce it, but apparently they're saying there's a tangible connection involving Mbappe and Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp, and their chances can't be dismissed. Yeah, I'm going to go on record right now and say, if money wasn't an issue, Liverpool would get Mbappe, and Mbappe would come to Liverpool, because I do think Mbappe rates Jurgen Klopp highly and would love to play for him. But he wants 660 grand a week. And that's when it stops right there, guys. So, yeah, that's where it stops right there. Yeah.
If we're looking for a forward.
Yeah, I'm asking for a forward. If Liverpool go and get Mbappe, I'm getting the trophy now.
Yeah. If Carlsberg did transfer windows, we've had probably the best one just gone. But if we get Mbappe,
if they get Mbappe
in January, then
Liverpool got Mbappe, what I want
Bruno Guimaraes.
What I want Liverpool to do if they go and get Mbappe. If Liverpool got Mbappe, the picture, the photo opportunity at AXA when he's holding the T-shirt and all that, I want John W. Henry shaking his hand just to piss everyone off. Yeah, just absolutely piss everyone off. Photo opportunities is shaking John W. Henry's hand. John's holding his arm up like, yeah.
There'll be a picture going around of him and Mbappe's mum smoking cigars.
Big up, Lucky. Thank you very much. I mean, 660 grand a week is he wants. That's the rumored wage. I know he's on 2 million a week at PSG, but I think he acknowledges that's just an anomaly and he wouldn't get that anywhere else. But he's looking around 660 grand a week because he's looking at, I think it's 30 million a year, which is around 600.
That's. I mean, if you look at the grand scheme of things, that's doable. It is doable. Like, it is
but I just
doable.
don't think we'll do it. You know what I mean?
Like,
Could you imagine we keep Salah
the
on the right,
merch,
Mbappe on the left, and then Darwin through the middle? There you go.
the merch would pay for him.
Man.
I mean, I can guarantee if FSG literally said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to buy Mbappe. Yeah, we're going to pay like his release fee or whatever all that stuff is, which is going to cost an insane amount of money. But we need to have a whip round, a GoFundMe to pay his wages for the year, just to do his first year. I need to ask the fans. The fans would be like, yeah, I'd throw a quid in. You would.
To be fair, we could afford his wages. There's no doubt about it because we did pay it back. I just don't think it's happening. I think Kylian Mbappe still ends up at Real Madrid. I think it's just to keep putting out this article just to get people talking and clicks, basically. It's just a bit of fun to talk about, guys. I'm not really serious about it, so don't get at me. I'm just having a bit of fun. The other bit of news is so Liverpool are looking for a new goalkeeper, a number 2, because they believe Caoimhin Kelleher will leave in the summer. Does anyone guess? Can anyone guess who Liverpool are looking at to be their number 2? Because I've got the name right here. These are the rumours. Can anyone guess? I want everyone's guesses, unless you've seen it online. I want everyone's guesses who Liverpool are looking at to replace Caoimhin Kelleher as their number 2 next season. Okay, Matt, do you know? Because I've got the name.
I don't know, mate. I haven't looked into this one. The goalie's not been something I've looked at.
So the
David Seaman.
So the rumor is Kasper Schmeichel.
I'm fine with that.
He's like 36
I know he's the son of Peter Schmeichel, but he's never been Man United. He's never been Man United, has he?
Yeah, so apparently there's rumours going around at the moment that Kasper is going to leave. Liverpool are realising that Caoimhin Kelleher will probably leave in the summer, so they need another
number
Nice?
2. Is he still at Nice?
Yeah, and they want a number 2. They want a number 2 goalkeeper that is going to be basically low mileage, in wages and all that, and won't cost a bomb. And is more of an experienced number 2. They don't want to go down.
Sorry, someone's wrote De Gea. He hasn't got a club, by the way.
No, but they want that number 2 that is not going to be, he's going to be an experienced hand, because I think they're noticing that if you get a young goalkeeper as your number 2, they're not going to improve as a keeper. You need. I've said this for a while. I think your number 2 goalkeeper should be a more experienced keeper, a bit older, because they're never going to play much anyway. So I think Kasper Schmeichel's like 36 or something. So yeah,
he's at Anderlecht, by the way. Someone wrote.
Yeah,
I thought he'd
he's
left
at Anderlecht right now. He's in Belgium at the moment, I believe. So yeah, that's who Liverpool apparently. That's the rumours going around at the moment that Liverpool are looking at. If Caoimhin Kelleher goes, they're looking at an experienced, older goalkeeper that can come in as Alisson's backup and play the odd game here and there.
I'm fine with that.
Kasper Schmeichel.
Didn't Man City have haven't Man City still got Scott Carson? Like they had him for
Well, they got him.
10 years.
They got him to keep the homegrown quota, ain't they?
But he's still their third choice goalkeeper, isn't he? So
yeah,
makes sense. Like
big up, Gal. I'm on it now, man.
He's homegrown as well, isn't he? Because he's been in the UK for a long time. Like so, yeah. He's a good goalkeeper, not a bad keeper. I remember seeing the Everton bench. They had Andy Lonergan on their bench. Do you remember him?
Big up Andy Lonergan, man.
Like 41, something like that. he was off it to goalkeeper for a bit when we had Ali and Adrian, and Keller wasn't.
I've got time for Andy Lonergan. What a ledge, absolute ledge.
He was on the Everton bench.
He on the Everton bench?
Yeah, he was on the Everton bench recently. He's their third choice goalkeeper.
Is he now? Interesting.
Just floats between northwest clubs.
Let me just
to be sub.
Let me just do this for
Captain Sal. Here's my donation towards Mbappe.
There you go. All done, Gal. All done, man. All done.
Brilliant. You seen that?
Big up, Captain Sal. I'll pass that down the line, Captain Sal. Big up to you, Captain Sal. Here's my donations. I was about to have done my part. Big up, Captain Sal. I will pass that along.
When the GoFundMe comes up, mate, can you use a quid of that towards it for me?
Gal, I've redirected. All good, Gal. Done. Yeah. Maybe Carriers. Yeah, Carriers ain't got a club. But yeah, they're looking at a more experienced, dynamic keeper that's going to be roughly low estimate of price, and he would be classed as homegrown as well. So, yeah, that's why Kasper Schmeichel at the moment Liverpool are looking at. I think that would be a solid bit of business, actually. Kasper Schmeichel is our number 2 goalkeeper. He can play League Cup games, FA Cup games. I'll be perfectly fine with that. I really would. Perfectly fine with that. Joe Gomez is a no. We've all agreed with that. Joe Gomez is staying at Liverpool Football Club. Will we buy anyone in the January transfer? What's your feeling, K-Mac? Will Liverpool buy a player this January?
I think 2. I do think 2. I do think the left back has to be addressed. Like, you can't ignore that. Like, and it's also a case of how many times has this happened where we've been forced to make a move because of injury or because of the guy that we were looking at. We've had to go for him early because someone else is coming in. It could be an Asio because Arsenal are looking at him now, so we might have to make a move. You know, maybe we weren't going to make a move on him yet. It could be Andre because Man City are looking at him. Like, there's rumours that Man City are looking at Andre from Fluminense. So you know, we might make a move on him. Like, it's interesting. Like, I don't want us to be forced into doing stuff, but I think we should have addressed the left side anyway last year, and I thought Costas should have been sold. I know Costas has been good, and I'm not knocking him. But he doesn't offer anything going forward for me. And we have been pretty dead on the left-hand side since he's been in the team. And I know you can blame Diaz for some of that, but maybe it's because of, you know, the fact that Costas is there and he's not been producing enough going forward. When you look at Gomez and he's a breath of fresh air, like literally, like wow, where did this guy come from? Like, that's what Robbo does day in, day out. Has been for like the last 6-7 years. So yeah, I just think that side of the pitch probably has to be addressed, and maybe he looks at a right-sided or left-sided attacker. I think we're okay for the centre. I think Gapco, Nunes, and Jota can all play there. But
that's.
I'm not picking on Simi. Simi's been good, okay. I've just picked him up.
Simi's been good. I just feel like if Liverpool can upgrade in that position, I think they will upgrade. I've been saying this for a while as well. Like, when it comes to transfers, Liverpool will do business if business is there to be done. You know, if they feel like there's a player that's available, I always said they will go and get that player. I think Liverpool are looking at a player in January that none of us have really known. Look at the Szoboszlai deal. You know, that weren't being reported on social media at all. You know, who's reported on social media at Liverpool going for? Who's the geezer that's going to back Man United again? Who's the player who went
Mickey Mount.
Yeah, Mount. That's it. So according to the media, Liverpool wanted Mount. You know, that's all it was about. Oh, I got to get McAllister in. That was an obvious choice. And then Mount was the other player that Liverpool desperately wanted, or Conor Gallagher. Do you remember that was
No goals, no
the media,
assists.
and then it was like no.
I'll tell you what though, mate. Gallagher's got more assists than Odegaard.
Conor Gallagher's a good player, man. I like Conor Gallagher.
I like Conor Gallagher as well.
The Chelsea boys don't like him, but
made him their captain now, I think.
I don't know what Conor Gallagher does wrong, to be fair. Maybe he's showing up some of their players that cost a lot of money.
Mate. Like, tried to get rid of him, tried to bin him off to about 5 different clubs. Yeah, then had to play him. Then he's scoring their goals and giving their assists, and now he's got the captaincy. It's like
he's a good player, man.
Like Gallagher's like that.
The thing is, though, he's proper Chelsea. You know what I mean? He's proper Chelsea. He's proper Chelsea. Can I just say one thing on West Ham a minute? I know it's not a West Ham channel, right? I just want to big up David Moyes for the job he's doing at West Ham. I don't understand why West Ham fans don't like him. I don't get it.
Don't get it.
I don't get it at all. They're 6th in the Premier League right now. He won them a European trophy. It's not like West Ham eat trophies, is it? He won them a European trophy. The year before that, he took them to another European final. They've been back-to-back European finals.
Back-to-back.
And now they're 6th in the Premier League, and he's got good players there. They play decent football.
It was the Europa League final that he got them to, which is harder because there's harder teams in there, and then he won the Conference League final.
Didn't he beat the team that he lost against in the Europa League final?
No, because I think he got beat by Frankfurt, Eintracht Frankfurt.
Yeah, and didn't Frankfurt play them?
Did he play them again?
I can't remember. Who did they play in the Europa League final? No, it's Fiorentina, wasn't it? Fiorentina, wasn't it?
It's Fiorentina. Yeah.
They beat Frankfurt in the semi-finals, didn't they? But
I think they played them.
Yeah, it's his style of football. Apparently, it's his style of football. But what style of football do West Ham want? What, pretty football, but finish mid-table?
They've got some flair players.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't get why. I think West Ham are doing a good job.
Moyes has just beat Man United and Arsenal away.
Moyes is a good manager.
Away.
If you allow David Moyes time, he will do a job. I think he does do a job to a level. I think the Man United job was just too big for him. But he can do it. You give him a certain club, and it's a bit like Unai Emery. In my opinion, Unai Emery is very good at certain clubs, but he does feel the pressure when the pressure's on. And that's why I think Villa in the last couple of games have fallen off a little bit. But like Villarreal and Villa, they're good teams. They're not the top teams, and he's sort of comfortable with them teams. You know, he got the Arsenal job and it didn't quite work out. And I look at David Moyes, and you look at the Everton job. He did fantastic with Everton, absolutely superb. And look at the West Ham job. He's doing the West Ham and Everton. You look at them 2 jobs he's done in the Premier League. You look at the job he did with Preston North End before he got the Everton job. He got into the playoff final with Preston. You know, everyone forgets he did that job. David Moyes is a good manager, man. He's a good manager, and I don't understand the hate for him. I really don't.
I don't. You know, long may it continue, Moyes being in the Premier League, because we're always guaranteed 6 points.
Rangers went to the final. He's right. Yeah, thank you very much.
Big up,
West Ham lost. I knew they played Frankfurt in the semi-final. There you go. Yeah, so
we don't really follow those teams, Neil. Yeah. That's why we don't really know a huge amount. Like, if I'm honest,
thank you very much, man.
But yeah, may Longy continue in the Premier League, because we're guaranteed 6 points when we play them all the time.
Yeah.
Because he's got voodoo on us. He hates playing us.
Quickly on Man United. So they came back and beat Aston Villa. United fans are now like, we're back.
They're back every week, aren't they, when they win?
Villa, for me, Villa cost their own defeat. Why Unai Emery kept playing that high line when you're 2-0 up away from home, I have no idea. He asked for that. But Garnacho's their top goal scorer, I think, now, or something like that. I think he's decent.
He's always offside, though. You talk about Nunes. Talk about Nunes being offside. That guy's had, how many goals disallowed for offside?
Oh, I know.
Like, and he's literally on the line all the time because that's where he plays. He literally plays on the shoulder, and he's always offside. Just like
with Ineos coming in now as the main, taking 25% of the club, but I think they will eventually own Man United in a few years' time. Radcliffe's coming. Jim Radcliffe's coming. The geezer that was in charge of Sky Cycling is one of the owners, CEOs now, or something like that. They're going apparently.
Wasn't there a bit of
so
controversy
David Beresfield, ain't it? Is it
Sky?
David Beresfield? Yeah, Team Sky. David Beresfield.
If I'm a Man United fan, I'm a bit wary about this guy. Like,
Man United fans don't want him.
He's got a dark shadow around a lot of businesses he runs. Like, you look into it, like, it doesn't end up well. It doesn't end up working out well with Ineos.
I don't think,
which is good.
Most United fans that I've heard or spoke to, they do not want Jim Radcliffe as any kind of owner of the football club. They don't see it as any different to having the Glazers. So, as long as United stay in the mud, it's all good. I don't, what was that thing Ryan Giggs said a few years ago? Man United won't go as long as Liverpool did without winning the league title. Do you remember that? He said it a few years ago. Well,
yeah, that's aged well.
Yeah, how long they gone there? 2013 when they last won the league, wasn't it?
It's creeping up there.
2012, 2013 season. So
that's
coming
like
on 11 years
now.
11 years, and
it's gonna be another.
I don't see it. I don't see another turnaround.
If they got that chic, then I would have given them another maybe 4 years to start competing again.
Yeah,
but
get rid of all their crap.
they just didn't. They didn't take the money.
You got to get rid of all their crap. They got so much jank in that team. How is Anthony Martial and Luke Shaw still at that football club?
Hasn't Martial been there longer than Gomez with us?
Anthony Martial made his debut against Liverpool when Brendan Rodgers was manager, and we had Benteke up front. Yeah.
Wow.
And Klopp's been in charge of Liverpool for 8 years now.
Did Ferguson sign Luke Shaw?
Yeah.
Was it Fergie? It might have been.
Well.
Was it Moyes or Fergie? Well. I know Jose Mourinho binned Shaw because he said he was fat.
Yeah.
My God, man, they've still got players from there. Like, we've only got one player left now, haven't we? That wasn't under Klopp, and that's Gomez. Every other player
changed.
Like, they've still got quite a few.
I wouldn't. This is why I keep saying it. I'd have our ownership over the Glazers every day of the week.
Oh God, yeah, every day.
every day of the damn week. They spend a lot of money and buy just terrible footballers. They put them on ridiculous because they're all massive contracts. Massive contracts. They can't get rid of them. And Chelsea have the same problem. Have you seen Chelsea's contracts on their players?
Yeah, like 8-year contracts as well. Like,
Mudrik's got till 2031.
We wouldn't dream of doing that. Mudrik is a flop. Like, really
2031. Lavia and Casado's contracts don't run out till 2030.
I'm just gutted he didn't go to Arsenal because they would have got another flop.
It's just mad. Yeah, absolutely mad. Yeah, the Glazers still own the club. So Jim's put in 20. Yeah, so Jim's put in 25%, but he's going to be running the financial aspect of the football club. Apparently, the stadium's falling apart. He's already said that needs so much money done on it.
I don't know how they're going to pay for that. He's not going to pay for it.
So don't expect. If you're a United fan, don't expect any big transfers coming up because he's come out and already said that the stadium needs massive improvements, which is going to take millions upon millions of pounds to do, and so is the training ground. So you're looking at hundreds of millions just to fix the stadium and training ground. So I wouldn't expect any big transfers of Man United anytime soon. That's why it's going to take him years, man.
I've got to shoot, mate. Okay.
We'll go end it now anyway. We'll go end it now. So on the poll, the poll is up. Let me just get the poll up. We're going to end this. It's just a bit of a fun chat today, guys. Thanks for everyone coming in. We do appreciate it.
Didn't he score 4 goals in one match, though, Jackson? Lucky. Sorry. Or was it 3? I think it was 4. He scored 4 in one match against
He
Tottenham.
scored a hat trick against Scotland, didn't he?
Yeah. So he scored most of his goals against Tottenham.
Yeah, 50% of his goals came against Spurs.
A bit like Nunes scored most of his goals against Newcastle. Sorry.
Yep.
Which is a good sign, by the way.
Liverpool channel, unexpectedly, Liverpool won this poll. Yeah. I've been a Liverpool channel. Unexpectedly, Liverpool won this poll, 74%. City, 24%. And 3% only Arsenal. So, not a lot of you are supporting Arsenal in this title hunt. I'm with you. I do think it's going to be between Liverpool and City. I really do. That's just me personally. Guys, go and make sure you raid Savage's channel. Unfortunately, I can't put a thing onto it. Any mods in the chat, if you can put a link to Savage's channel in the chat right now, that will send you there. So if there's any mods about, keep it level. You're a mod. So if you want to put the link to his channel in the chat before we go for it. And people can go and check that out. So, yeah, 149 votes. Liverpool winning 74%. City 23%. And Arsenal 3%. Before we go quickly, Spurs, Brighton. Did you watch any of it, K-Mac?
Yeah, that was a weird game. That was a really weird game. It was like they took the lead, like went 4-0 up, and then just like made all their subs, and then just decided to stop playing football. And then Spurs could have equalised. They had so many chances. It was a good game. I was kind of watching both games like on and off, and then like when it was like 4-1, I was like, oh, so they've flicked back to that game. If someone can put my link in the chat as well, that'd be great. I'm at like 184 subscribers, so I'm quite close to 200. So it'd be good if anyone can sub from this chat in there. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I think people did earlier as well. So
yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, stick it in, guys. You know what I do around here. Stick it in the chat. What I do when we finish anyway, I'll put it in the description anyway. Yeah, guys. So yeah, Tottenham. Yeah, they played. What is it? Everyone was calling Brighton yesterday, Munich Brighton or something like that, weren't they? Or Bayern Brighton or something. Yeah, Tottenham got smashed. Tottenham got smashed.
Tell you what,
look,
that
guys,
Hinstelwood looks a player, doesn't he? That Hinstelwood looks a bit of a player.
Brighton, they've got a good scouting department there. We just need to go and hire the scouting department. That's all we need to do. Guys, this came out channel. Hit that link. Go and subscribe.
Big will keep it level.
Guys, we'll be back tomorrow for the match preview between Liverpool and Newcastle, and then I'll be back New Year's Day evening, looking back at the match on New Year's Day. So, guys, from me and the Jamie Felix Football Chat, thank you very much for joining us. We do appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow for the match preview. Enjoy the rest of your night. Don't forget to go and subscribe to K-Mac. Go over to the
Reds
channel, and you're going to be redirected to Igal's channel as well. Much love. Thank you very much. God bless.